Greetings from Underbrook. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm Marie DeSimone.
And this is Too Late to Tell Somebody How You Feel. I accidentally killed my boyfriend. Oh! We also talk about ABC's hit series, Once Upon a Time. How you doing, Anne-Marie?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Are you feeling controversial tonight?
Oh, I think we're going to be quite controversial tonight.
Definitely. I can't wait to see the comments section on this episode. It'll be good.
Oh, the comments are going to be crazy.
No, we're not going to be that controversial. No more than usual anyway. Exactly. We'll goof off a bunch, though. It'll be good.
We do goof off a bunch.
It'll be good. But you know what? We have someone here to goof off with us, actually. Again, another deep cut guest. Someone, I think we've had her on as a group, as a panel for several times. But, you know, in the past year and some change.
It's been at least a year and a half.
It's been a while. I think maybe the Once If episodes. But
yeah, I think the last episode was Once If.
Yeah.
And that voice is Amy P.
Amy P, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. We are excellent. I'm glad to have you with us tonight.
Yes, you and your crazy theories.
Oh, don't get me started.
Oh, no, we will get you started.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of the podcast. We have to get you started. That's
why you made me come on here. I'm kidding.
Exactly.
Definitely. So, Amy, just real quick, and we've been asking all of the guests this right at the top. What have been your feelings about this half season so far?
I liked it.
Silence.
It's been hit or miss with me. There's been, I guess, like every other episode I've loved. Or every other episode I've hated, or not really hated, but just didn't like, I mean, I like Hades. He's become one of my favorite characters, new characters this season, just because, to me, he's kind of replaced Rumple.
Yes.
In the evil, but, he looks like he could be a really nice guy, but at the same time, he could be really evil, So, and, I mean, he reminds me a little bit of the one from the Disney movie too, because I liked that one too. But I mean, other than that, the red haze or whatever they have going on down there is really weird, and I don't really care for it. But
don't like the filter.
No, not really. But so.
We almost forgot to mention our other important guest, and that's the chat room. Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. EST over at live.universebox.com. We have Amanda and Amy P's in there.
She's everywhere.
Shocker. Angel T, Hoops 900, Matthew Paul, and me and you and Chan Serve.
Yep. I think there will be some other people. They've been in and out. They're in the refresh phase right now.
But Matthew Paul says, I think 5B has been the best arc since 3A, for me at least. That's interesting.
Alone in your principles. That's okay, Matthew.
But all opinions are welcome here, even if we don't necessarily share them. But
exactly. You
know what? We have a lot of controversial stuff to get into.
You're just like ramping this up, aren't you?
I am. It's not going to be that bad, actually. But why don't we go ahead and get started, Anne-Marie, with the rhyming episode summary, and then we'll start talking about this episode.
The yellow brick road is now overgrown. Dorothy is living in Oz all alone. Well, besides Toto and all of the Munchkins, those magical her-loving bumpkins. Ruby and Mulan wander along, hunting for wolves while talking of songs. No love for Mulan, despite those who ship her. Our heroes stall out in this week's Ruby Slippers.
Ruby Slippers!
Ruby Slippers!
Ruby Slippers!
Ruby Slippers!
Amy, what'd you think?
I thought it was good. I mean, oops, sorry. There are parts, like I said, parts that I liked, parts that I didn't. Mm-hmm. My favorite part, though, was maybe the charming hook moments, the bonding moments.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that,
a stark contrast compared to their previous relationship.
Absolutely.
Oh, I thought it was funny how Charming still seemed to be like the protective father over his daughter's boyfriend kind of thing, but at the same time, he's kind of growing on him and stuff. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Captain Hook and Charming are two of my favorites, so the fact that they were, like, in a scene together was really great.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good episode. The funny thing is, all throughout I saw Toto, I kept thinking of my dog, because my dog looks like Toto. So,
yes, that picture was Underdog Toto.
Yeah, he was a dog for Halloween.
Maybe your dog is actually Toto. Maybe, this is from the future, and Dorothy will be traveling back into the past to steal your dog. So lock your windows.
Lock your windows, lock your doors.
Okay, Anne-Marie, what did you think of the episode overall?
I
I don't take that as a positive. Sound
no,
noise.
not terribly positive. I just feel like I just keep going "lah" at the TV on Sundays now, and "lah" when I'm rewatching it and pausing 16 times to write down "lah" notes. It could be really good, but it's not. It could be great, but they're not putting in the effort. Somewhere, the ball is being dropped. I think. And just like Amy said, she likes Hades. I think one of the reasons you may like Hades is they're actually developing a character that they introduced.
I'm not really sure if I like him turning into a stalker, though.
Yeah, that's a little creepy, but it's character development at least.
Sure.
Everyone else shows up, does a little something, and then is killed off or gets to move on. Except Cruella. She's just there for all eternity.
I will say that a Hoopsa 900 in the chat room says, hide your dogs, hide your wife.
Yep, that's exactly where we were going.
Dorothy's stealing everyone in here. So we don't start on a completely negative note, because my first point's kind of negative. I will say that I enjoy what they did with Dorothy's backstory in that they made it very similar to the movie with Fruza Balk from the 80s,
okay.
Return to Oz, where she goes back from Oz and they try and have her committed.
Was that from the 80s?
That was from the 80s.
You sure?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
86, I think. I've
never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
It's really good. It's actually one of my favorite Oz stories ever. Well worth checking out. It has the TikTok Man and Jack Pumpkinhead and all sorts
And if
of
it's
stuff.
definitely from '86, I was born then, so wouldn't remember the thing.
Nice. Okay. Well, let's get into the main discussion here.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to start off talking about how Oz is an open door. I'm going somewhere with it. I'm going somewhere with it. Okay. First of all, full disclaimer. I can't say this enough. We are totes 1,000 and 50,000 and 100,000 after that percent accepting of gay people in both fiction and real life. We even took a stand on it back in the Sleeping Warrior days. So
absolutely, we were very pro Sleeping Warrior.
Yeah, so
am.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. That being said, nothing about this relationship in this episode
This
or
relationship,
or the True Love's kiss felt earned to me. They walk around in the woods for 15 minutes and suddenly they're true love. Can a first kiss even be a True Love's kiss? If it was like a true crush's kiss or something, I could buy it. But True Love's kiss isn't
True
something. True
True
lust kiss. It's not something you can bottle, despite Snow White's proclamations.
Yeah, let's just.
I was about
bottle
to say,
the kiss.
didn't they already bottle True Love?
They did bottle True Love.
When did they bottle True Love?
Oh, probably 3 seasons.
Snow White and Charming.
Yes.
But that was in liquid form. And that wasn't
That
True
wasn't
Love's
a
kiss.
kiss.
That was just the essence of their love.
And that's somewhere in Rumple's storage unit.
Maybe that was the bottle of magic he used last half season.
Yeah.
But I felt like there was a way this could have been earned.
Yeah.
I feel like if it had been between the romantic relationship had been between Ruby and Mulan, who've been traveling together forever and somehow made it to Oz. I'm not sure how that happened. But it would have seemed more earned if it had been them.
Yeah.
Now I'm not mad because two girls kissed again. Just
We're
to
good
be
with
clear,
that.
I'm mad.
Kiss away.
I'm mad. I'm mostly mad because they're watering down True Love's kiss like they watered down Portals, which Anne-Marie wants to talk about a little bit
I have a
later.
very large tangent about portals.
They're watering down another very firm sort of rule, sort of mythological thing about the show, just to fit in a story.
Yes.
And that's what gets my gourd. I just want to say, too, that Dorothy's Red Riding Sans Hood reminded me of Animorphs for some reason. The series Animorphs, if you guys remember that.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
That was elementary school for all my friends.
I love the covers where it would just be like a kid's face and then like a dog like fading out behind them.
Holographic covers or something like that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. They should do a crossover. That should be one of the doors in the hat.
Stop talking about the hat.
Okay, but back to what I titled this point, Oz is an open door.
Yes.
The romance in this episode reminds me a lot of Frozen, particularly the song Love is an Open Door.
Yep.
And Elsa's reaction to it. It's basically Anna and what's his name? Hans. Fall in love.
Of the Seven Isles.
Fall in love instantly. And Elsa's like, you can't do that. You can't totally fall in love with somebody in 15 minutes.
Nope.
And, I just think it felt kind of weak to me, kind of old school. And considering Frozen is canon on this show, you'd think it would have occurred to somebody in the writer's room.
Yeah. You really would.
See, well, I'm going back to one of your earlier points, Bill, about Mulan.
Uh-huh.
I actually thought she was supposed to be part of this new couple. I mean, that's how they built her up.
Exactly.
And so when it became Ruby and Dorothy, to me, that seemed like something out of left field, I guess, because, I mean, I kind of saw it at the beginning of the episode when they were saying, when they said, oh, well, True Love's Kiss, we need to get Auntie M. And I'm like, somehow that's not going to work. They're going to have to it's going to be Ruby.
Yep.
For some reason, I have a feeling it's going to be Ruby. Because it's just the way they did I guess they kept going to her every time they said True Love's Kiss.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I just always thought, was under the impression it was supposed to be Mulan, not, Ruby. I mean, I'm happy she's happy and all that kind of stuff, but again, it's
she
not
was
how
already the established lesbian character.
Yeah.
Like she already, it was
that,
already there. And
that was one of the reasons so many people were excited that she was coming back this
Yes.
season, because they were like, finally, there's going to be a
She
lesbian
gets her happy
relationship in the
ending, if you
show,
will.
and Mulan gets her happy ending,
And no, she didn't get her
unless
happy
Mare
ending.
does her happy ending.
What was that?
Oh, yeah, because Merida's
Merida?
coming back
Oh.
too.
Yeah, that's
But
true. I
is
was
Merida
thinking
going to be
that.
in Oz? Because right now they're all in Oz, and they don't have the silver slippers anymore. But
Well, since they randomly showed up in Oz anyway, she could randomly show up in
Yeah.
Oz.
it's very true.
Merida will be wherever they need her to be to fulfill the contract.
The season finale, then.
Yeah, and it's just a thing where if they had done a different plot than Sleeping Curse and True Love's Kiss, even
Yes.
it would have made more sense to me if it had been
Yes.
these two meet. They fall, or the Wicked Witch does something. Red has to go to the underworld to fix it, and then she goes back and reunites with Dorothy.
Dorothy.
And it hadn't been True Love's Kiss and the Sleeping Curse mixed
Yes.
in there. I totally would have been fine with it, but I don't know. You can, like you said, it could be True Lust Kiss.
Yeah, that
in
was
the
True
first
Lust's
couple.
kiss. That wasn't
Yeah.
True Love's kiss. Okay, are you ready?
Maybe. Do you have any other thoughts on Ruby Slippers before we move on?
Oh, I'm sure more.
Well,
will
not the
come.
episode, but the ship.
Nah, we'll come back.
You know what? Actually, Anne-Marie, is there
What?
anything from the chat room?
Probably. Let's see. Unseen viewer, I have a way this whole thing could have been fixed. Couldn't it have been Mulan and Dorothy if they were trying to make Dorothy out to be a warrior with the love for the people? See, that actually would have made sense because it's warrior Dorothy and Mulan's been a warrior. They have a thing in common.
But
And
then
then, see, I
again,
actually saw her with Dorothy. That's when they were
Yeah.
introducing Dorothy in this whole thing. And I'm like, okay, it'll probably be Mulan and Dorothy, not
Yeah.
Ruby and Dorothy.
Made much more sense.
it could have been too on the nose too, just because opposites tend to attract, and they're kind
Yeah.
of cut from the same cloth.
Or it could have been, we already all guessed that it would be Mulan. So they
And
went,
that's
well,
why
we
they
wanna
didn't.
surprise them. So here's Ruby.
Yeah.
Matthew Paul brings up something interesting. Anybody familiar with the euphemism "friend of Dorothy"? I felt like making Dorothy a lesbian was the writers giving that a nod. If you don't know Friend
don't
of
know
Dorothy,
Friend of Dorothy.
It was kind of a code way back in the 40s, 50s, 60s of saying somebody was gay.
Really?
Because Judy Garland was a big advocate of gay people back then.
Really?
And a lot of gay people identified with Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, too.
Interesting.
I think they talked about that on one's podcast because,
did they?
well, not the main show, but they do a spoiler section towards the end, and they were talking about it then, and they were saying, I wonder. That's when all this stuff was starting to come out, and someone mentioned that. So yeah, that's where I heard it.
Nice.
Huh.
So,
Very interesting.
All right. Okay. I think we've waded through the minefield
Okay.
and we've come out unscathed.
so far,
But there's a portal on the other side of it, Amber.
Of course there is,
right?
because freaking portals are everywhere and they're so easily accessible. They don't take anything anymore.
Who needs a magic bean?
Who needs a bean? Who needs a fairy? Who needs
a hat?
A hat. Okay, so we've said this before, and we will, I guess, say it again. But portals are supposed to be very hard to come by and use, like in the first 2 or 3 seasons. But now they're everywhere. If portals and locator spells were this easy to use, then there would be no reason for the show, because Rumpel would have found Bay hundreds of years ago. We wouldn't have had to have the dark curse. It would not have happened.
Yeah. I don't mind it so much that, portals are so prevalent now. I mind that they end up showing up in a lot of flashbacks and stuff now, too, to where there were portals just all over the place.
As if it was normal.
Yeah.
And
it's almost like you walk around the corner and there's a portal.
Exactly.
And you're automatically in a different land.
Yep. Or somebody's coming in from a portal. Like, no, that's not
It's a
right.
train station or a bus station,
Yes.
Next stop, Wonderland. Next stop, Oz.
Exactly.
If you wander far long enough in the woods with your nose in the air looking for wolves, you're going to end up in Oz,
Apparently. And another thing, not only are the portals everywhere, but now people are easily going between the real world and the underworld. Okay, half a season ago, that was a big deal. Now it's not. Did the person who, spearheaded that theme get tossed to the side? Because, it should have been a big deal. You're going to purgatory. You're walking among the dead. That's not.
And most of the time, you don't come back from that.
Right. So, okay. So we have the silver slippers. Are there limited miles on these, or can Snow now just pop back and forth as she wants? Because Snow has the slippers.
I don't know. I'm wondering how many people can travel via the slippers.
Exactly. We know it's at least 2.
Yeah. Did anyone who has hands on the person wearing them basically can.
Exactly. There's going to be all these dead people hovering around her next time she goes down to bring a burger or something.
The only thing I know about the slippers is that they're silver. That the red slippers were a movie thing.
Yeah.
They were silver in the book.
Right.
Not that I've actually read the book, but
Yeah.
still, that's the only thing I've ever known about the slippers.
I will say Matthew Paul in the chat room mentions that Rumpel was trying to get to a non-magical realm. Now Storybrooke has magic. So that was part of the difficulty.
Okay, that could be it.
Yeah, but I still feel like
there would have been a way.
I still feel like in that period, it was a lot harder to come by. You needed a Jefferson, or you needed
the magic mirror.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Okay, so then
it was more of a challenge.
Yes, it was definitely a challenge. Because, that was Wonderland. We won't go to Wonderland.
We'll be here all night.
Yeah. And if all you have to do is hold hands with the person who's wearing the slippers, everyone whose name's not on a stone can now leave. Snow can just be the shuttle service. She hops back. All right, who's leaving this round? Boop, boop, boop. Let's go. It's too easy. Then you have this locator spell, which, how did Ruby cast a spell? Ruby is not magical. Ruby is a half wolf. I don't understand.
I could actually see her making a deal with somebody who is magical, maybe.
But she didn't really have that, because she was in Oz for
So she didn't know anybody to make a deal with.
She didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And Zelena
Unless Glinda
was
did her a favor.
But how did she find...
Well,
but wouldn't Glinda have known what had happened to Dorothy?
If I remember, Glenda's still banished
in
to
the North Woods?
North Woods, I believe.
Through a
y'all
door.
wanted crazy theories. I'm trying to give you one.
And we're shutting you down.
We're shutting them down. No, it just confuses me, because how can a locator spell take you to the underworld too? Shouldn't it just take you to something else? I feel like we couldn't go all the way there, because when we used the locator spell to find Anna and not Hans, the other guy, Kristoff, it just took to a beach, but not directly to the thing that they were locked in that was on the beach. It just sort of stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels it doesn't make the sense. Also,
Wasn't there 2 other witches involved though? I'm vaguely remembering something about the Oz storyline.
there
that
was. There was the
like
4
4
witches.
There was the council, sister witches.
Yes, the
council.
sister witches.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. It just seemed very, again, it was convenient. Then we have the Dark One blood. Not too long ago, like 2 episodes ago, we were reminded that even Hades couldn't make a portal without Dark One blood. And now everyone has a portal at their disposal. Like, so all Rumpel needs to do is cast a locator spell, which we know he knows how to do very easily because we've used them every half season or so. And yeah.
Or everyone somehow became a Dark One.
Oh. Because they're dead or in the underworld.
Well, no, I just meant they somehow randomly, hey, this person's alive. Let's make them a Dark One. That way we can have
That's true.
Like when all those Dark Ones traveled back into Rumpel, some of them kind of got lost along the way.
That's true. We never really got what happened with all of that.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there was some sort of like innate magical ability that came with being in the underworld. You know, something. Like, I'm not going to say a lot, but I mean, if nothing else, you're immortal minus, getting turned into a puddle by Hades.
That's true.
That sort of thing. But, I think this definitely comes down to another case, just like True Love's Kiss, of them just... They have these really strong concepts with rules, and it's hard to do, but it's super effective for the story when it happens.
Right.
And they've just used it so much, they've run it to the ground, and it's almost meaningless now.
Yeah.
I definitely feel it's another one of those situations. We need some fresh blood, some new concepts.
We do.
Definitely.
For realsies.
You guys don't think we have enough new characters already?
Not necessarily the new characters.
Yeah.
Like a new curse. Let's get a curse that does something else. Let's get True Love's Kiss does, for some reason, this one curse True Love's Kiss doesn't work on. That would be lovely to find out what else they have to do.
Or it's the one curse that you don't lose your memories.
Yeah, that would be lovely, yes.
But heaven forbid that happen.
Yeah. And now we have Bells now in Fireland. Can we re-explore
the Red Room?
The Red
sort of
Room.
Thing.
Because
I'm sorry, but is anyone really surprised that she's asleep again?
No, not even remotely. Not even remotely.
The way they did it was like, oh, hey, surprise, she's under a sleeping curse. And I'm sitting there going, you've had her asleep for these past 4 seasons. What else is new?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's it must be written into her contract or something. But Emily must be sleeping for 3/4 of her scenes.
Well, the thing is, before, now we can actually be a little bit more mad about before, because now it makes sense, because she was legitimately 7 months pregnant filming this. Woman needs a break. But
same thing with Jenny.
Yeah. Well, Jenny's about, I think, 3 or so months behind her.
Yeah.
So, and doing much better this pregnancy than the first one. Neither here nor there. But, it makes sense to knock her out now. But she's been knocked out for so long when she wasn't pregnant. And it just made no sense. I don't know.
It just seemed very convenient to me that they could stop the pregnancy by putting her to sleep.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and I have some points on that later. I have a whole thing, and I obviously will be getting your opinion on the Rumbell situation, Amy. But you know what? I was looking at your next points in the doc here. I think you've already touched on them. So wild card point. What point off the top of your head?
Point off the top of my head.
Don't point off the top of your head. But
Henry not drunk.
Yes. Yes.
He's actually awake to do the
Yes.
story. Well, I kind of like how they did it, how it was just like, hey, she's okay. That way we don't have to go all the way back. So she's already in Storybrooke. It was just a brief, hey, she's okay. Here's the story. Here's what happened. She's with Neil. You know, that kind of thing.
Do you think he just did it?
Like that he wrote it?
Yes, because we actually never see her in Storybrooke. We see it in the book.
Yeah.
And he wasn't drunk writing this time.
That's true.
Or drunk illustrating.
Or drunk illustrating.
Drunk photoshopping.
Drunk photoshopping. He just did it. So there's that.
I don't I've kind of seen his story since the big confrontation with Cruella and getting the quill and everything. It's kind of like the slow burn in the background, and I kind of like
because it got brought up again this week.
Yeah, and I kind of like seeing it as like a progression to where he's slowly getting better in the background of all of our main characters, and then he's going to come out and save the day towards the end.
Yeah,
like
he did last time.
Yeah, like he did last season.
Yeah,
isn't that what he's done for the past couple of seasons though?
Yes.
Like he's like, we don't see him for like the whole season, then all of a sudden he becomes the big important hero towards, I think probably the last time I thought he was more important was when he was in Neverland and he was, the truest believer or what.
The heart of the truest believer.
The heart of the truest believer. I think that was probably the most we've ever seen him as being important besides just the last episode.
Yeah.
So.
If once gets to season 12, Henry will be the main character. Maybe.
Oh my God, by that point, none of these people
Crazy prediction.
None of these people should be around.
Crazy prediction. If they ever redo Once Upon a Time, Bailey will be Snow White.
Yep.
I could see Henry being like charming or something like that. Or Jared being charming or, someone else like that.
And Bobby will still play Mr. Gold / Rumpelstiltskin because he'll always be age appropriate for it. Definitely. Okay, well, I think anything interesting from the chat room, Anne-Marie?
They're trying to figure out how to sign up to be on. We'll put the link in the show notes.
Yeah, it's bit.ly/beyondgreetings.
I think we only have 2 more slots open.
We do. And I know there's, I think, 1 or 2 people in the chat room who we tried to contact about it, and they didn't get back to us. So shame on you.
Not our fault.
Shame on you. Okay, but we're going to take a quick break here. Then we're going to get back to talking all about Once. But first of all, it really helps to spread the show around. If you go over to iTunes or Stitcher Radio or now Google Play Podcasts,
yes.
Just went live this week, and leave a quick review for us so people can find us, so people have
they know
an
what they're
idea.
getting.
Yeah, exactly.
They know what they're getting.
Exactly. One of the first people to leave one of these reviews for us was somebody who just went in a few days ago and refreshed their review. And I thought it was interesting. Anne-Marie, do you want to read this or should I?
Okay. I'll read it. Okay. It is entitled Too Much Horsing Around.
Too much horsing around.
I have been listening to this podcast since they first started. Lately, I have not been enjoying it as much. Too many commercials for Patreon and advertisements. They frequently talk over each other.
What?
Or just,
no, it's okay. Go ahead.
Or just
finish reading.
Or just goof around and get off topic. They do have a lot of good insights, but they get off topic. I do not have the time to waste. I want to hear about Once.
This makes me, Anne-Marie.
This makes me a little sad.
Didn't you just love that speech by Lex Luthor at the party in Batman v Superman? No, but this is from Nani Quilting.
Spoiler alert! I haven't even seen that movie yet.
Lex Luthor talks in it. Surprise!
The red capes are coming.
No, but it's from Nani Quilting Dreams. And first of all, thank you for listening for so many years and everything.
It.
This kind of struck me a weird way. Like I mean, I'm not one to kind of reject criticism outright, but I don't know.
We only have one ad.
Well, we goof off as much as we always have. I definitely, I feel we stay on topic as much as we always have, which is to say about 70%.
Yep.
And we talk over each other. That's part of the gimmick. And
we talk over each other in real life. Trust me.
And I've been listening to this to some of our older episodes lately.
Oh, have you?
We're way better. We're way better than we were back when we didn't have any listeners and Nani was leaving reviews for us.
She was the only one leaving us anything.
Yeah. I think she might have been like our first or second review. Yeah, her and Win. So I mean, if you don't think the show's for you anymore, sorry, we're doing our best.
Yes.
And I will say too that the whole Patreon thing, we have one Patreon read if you go back and listen to our old Audible ads, those went on for 5 or 6 minutes.
Right. The only reason you might be confused is we have a bumper for the Patreon before the episode starts when you download it, and then we do the one live read.
Yeah, but that's pretty standard. It lasts about 6 seconds or something like that, 6 or 7 seconds.
Maybe 15.
But you know what? If I take anything...
Thank you for your criticism, though.
Definitely. Thank you. And if I take anything away from this review, it's that we shouldn't do any Patreon ad reads again. So thank you very much, Nani. Oh, Anne-Marie, do you want to tell them about Patreon?
Hi, guys. We have a Patreon. Over at patreon.com/universebox is a great way for you to help support our podcast. Greetings from Storybrooke, Legends of Gotham, and We're So Lost. As well as a little bit with Bill's books and my website and a little bit here and there. Right now, we have... What do we have over there? 28 people.
28 people, yeah.
Woohoo! 28 people supporting us for as little as 10 cents a month. You can be included in that. You also get all sorts of free things. You'll get all of Bill's books free. We'll write you a letter. We'll sing you a song. We'll do a podcast just for you.
We won't just sing you a song.
Sing you
A story. Sing you a rhyme. Sing dun 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 dun.
No
dun.
comment.
Once upon a time.
Okay, that was just for you,
That was
AVP.
just for MVP.
I figured it was going to happen sooner or later.
I was trying to figure out when it would. But, once a month we do a patron exclusive hangout where we invite all of our patrons on to talk and hang out. Anybody can watch and be in the chat room. Whoa, microphone.
But if you want to be
Only patrons can be actively involved.
in with us and have a good conversation about all sorts of stuff.
Oh, it's all sorts of stuff.
Definitely.
But patreon.com/universebox, and we would love to have you help support us so we can do cool things.
Yeah, and we want to thank the 28 patrons for giving us $124 a month. We love each and every one of you. And we're never going to mention you again because someone in a review told us we shouldn't. Because we're doing it way too much. Patreon.com/universebox. And remember to think outside. Amanda in the chat room says, haha, this conversation about ads is longer than the ads. LOL. Very true.
That's what we do.
That's a good point. That's a good
is
point.
point.
Definitely.
Another good point.
But
would
we had to
be-
talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, we should get back to talking about once.
Okay.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Rumpelstiltskin's Patreon.
Stop it.
No, okay, sorry. No, I wanted to talk about Belle the Unaccountable.
Yes.
First of all, just general impressions, it frustrates me very much they walked back a lot of the really good stuff they did with the characters last week.
Yeah.
But, Belle's in a situation in this episode where she can't live with what she did for Rumple.
Right.
So she's trying to find some way to free herself or absolve herself of the guilt. I think that's my podcasting word for the week is absolve.
Absolve.
This comes in the form of blaming Rumple for everything that happened. Obviously, Rumple isn't without sin. He is the dark one after all.
Right.
But she's the one who ultimately decided to push Gaston in the river.
She did.
If she was so down on Rumple, why didn't she just let him shoot him?
I think she's torn.
Yeah.
I think so too.
But, I think at this point, deed's done. Mm-hmm. Time to move on. She made one thing that kind of stuck out at me, though, and I didn't put this in my notes, so I wanted to mention it, is just that she was like, if Hades had saved the baby, it would have been okay. She said something along those lines,
she
and I
really
was
did.
like, yet again, she's like the moral arbiter of like everything. Like, if it benefits me, then it's fine, but if not, then you're bad and evil.
She didn't used to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
She used to have very clear, like, where she fell with everything. Mm-hmm. Not so much anymore.
Definitely.
Maybe it's all that sleeping.
But, she made a mistake, and when you're married to the Dark One, it's all too easy to find somebody to blame outside of yourself because there's somebody else in your vicinity that everybody's blaming for everything anyway. So it's really easy to point the finger and be like, it's my Dark One husband. Mm-hmm. Like I've been saying all season, this is another case of Belle needing to accept who she really is and the decisions she makes and living with them and trying to grow from them and, grow as a person by accepting who she is. Rumple has done that, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
And he's trying to move on and change for her. But she needs to be honest with herself, too, if that's ever going to work. Like, I feel like at this point, Rumple's putting effort into it. I mean...
Yeah. No, he is, though.
Yeah. There was a very...
I don't believe that.
What's that?
I have no faith in Rumple anymore,
Yeah,
so I'll believe that.
Well, but he's not putting on airs anymore as much. He's like, I'm not going to change for you. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. This is me. And you know what? That honesty is like the most respect that he gets from me because it's like, all right, you're a jerk, but you're telling everyone you're a jerk.
At the same time, he's still saying that, if you think maybe I can be the dark one to turn dark into light or something, yeah, sure, I'll try it, but I'm probably still going to be a little bit selfish.
I'm just kind of glad he's not... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm just glad he's not flip-flopping anymore.
Yeah.
Like saying he's going to be good, he tries to be good, then all of a sudden he's secretly evil, and then not tell anybody for like, a full season. And then everyone find out, gets mad at him, and he turns evil for a couple of episodes, and then he's all of a sudden back to being a good guy.
Yeah.
He just said flat out, "I'm not going to change," and to me, it's like, well, I figured that out a long time ago. What took you so long to figure it out?
Right.
So, but other than that, I mean, I've just kind of grown disappointed in him.
Yeah.
Purely just because of everything that's just happened.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff.
Definitely.
I do think though that I think we're all in agreement that he is finally being honest with himself about himself, and he needs that from his partner too if they're ever gonna.
But are they still partners?
March forward. I think so. I think
she's holding out hope that she can switch around with him, or turn him back to the light side. In Star Wars terms, I guess.
Coming soon.
One thing I did think was really interesting that happened at the end of the episode when she comes back with the pinprick and this, that, and the other was that in the last scene, Rumple had his head down in a book, digging into magical tomes for research, while Belle is the one hatching a reckless plan involving magic to accomplish her goals without considering the ramifications for anyone around her. So I thought it was interesting that their roles kind of reversed there.
Yeah.
It's a Freaky Friday.
A little Freaky Friday for sure.
If nothing else, I think they're more made for each other than even they realize. Although I will say, she thought, oh, my dad can give me true love's kiss. Aren't they kind of on the outs, or didn't she think her dad was kind of a jerk after everything that went down? I can't remember. Maybe that's just
he walked her down the aisle.
Did he walk?
Yeah, he was there married.
So begrudging true love,
but still being her true love's kiss is a stretch.
Yeah,
I think.
I don't know. It could be that unconditional parent-child love kind of thing.
That's
too.
True. That is true because we did have Emma and Henry.
Blood is thicker than water and all that.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Isn't there something where that phrase, blood is thicker than water, it actually means the opposite of what most people use it for? I forget what it is, but there's something where it's blood is thicker than water, but something, something, something. And it basically says, yeah, your family, they're tied to you, but you can kick them to the curb if they mess with you or something. And, something like that in water and drink. I don't know. Write in if you know.
If you can explain it to us, please do.
Okay. You wanted to talk about Belle too, right, Amory?
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Belle, why are we going to Zelina for help instead of going to the heroes? First of all, there's like 8 of them down here, most of which not doing anything. And there's at least 2 of them who have consistent magical powers, as where Zelina's powers are sketchy at best in the underworld. Like, she cut her kid with the magic on the cheek. I don't understand. I get that she doesn't trust Rumple. She doesn't trust herself with Rumple and all of that sort of stuff. But why does that increase the trust for Zelina? Zelina. I don't get it.
See, that's how you're going to say her name from now on, right?
Zelina, with my Italian talking hands going.
Zelina, I know a witch named Zelina.
That's beautiful. Does she really think that Zelina is not going to turn on her?
I'm actually divided on Zelina because as much as I don't want this to be the case, I really feel like she's trying to become the star pupil of Regina's Redemption School.
She really is.
By, willingly giving up the slippers. And I feel like she's trying to do good, but at the same time, she's being pulled in a couple different directions.
Yeah, like the direction of Hades.
I don't want her to turn good. I don't want her to be redeemed, but I feel like that's where they're going with her.
Of course
My fear is that she's going to turn into Rumple. Like I was saying, the flip-flop thing. Now she's trying to be good for her kid and all that kind of stuff. But then there's Hades, who's giving her what she's always wanted anyway, but she won't believe it. But it gives her a chance to be evil. So she has the choice of either being evil or being good, and she'll go back and forth on it like Rumple did. Maybe.
And Regina did to a degree.
Regina did for a while.
Definitely. She was back and forth for a while.
She still has some slip-ups.
But I'm with you, Bill. I hope she doesn't get redeemed. I think they're trying to redeem almost every evil character, and I'm getting tired of it.
Redemption arcs are boring for the 3rd week in a row.
I just would like an evil character to be evil. That's why I like Cruella, because there's no way there's a redemption arc for her.
Exactly. And if she was going to Zelina because she's a mother, there are 3 other mothers in the underworld just on Team Good Guys. There are 3.
Very true.
If she's going to go, Mama baby, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and what sense does it make to, hey, you remember when I stole your baby? Can you help me with mine?
Yes! Yes! Why was that the idea?
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
If she was looking for a mother, why not look for her own?
Yes.
I would think she would be in the underworld for unfinished business or something.
Exactly. She was killed by an ogre.
Especially if
very
there's a
true.
certain theory that is true.
Yes, that
Yes.
theory.
We
love that theory.
Remind people of that theory, Amy P.
My theory is that Belle's mom is an author. We never saw a body when she died. She dove for the books when the ogres attacked. I'm a bookworm. I love to read, but even I don't think I would have dived for the books.
Yeah.
So because she kept saying that the books were important. So my theory is that at some point she was an author, and there might be a slim possibility she's either still alive or and just in hiding. Maybe I don't know. But the Gaston episode where they kept talking about the mom, and I was kind of disappointed they didn't actually see her in the episode.
Yes, especially because
Whether or not she was the author.
Yes.
Whether or not she was the author, we could at least have seen her.
Maybe they couldn't get the actress or something.
Maybe.
Probably. From the chat room, Amanda said the real phrase is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which means that friends are better than family.
Yes, that's it. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, but definitely the Belle's mom as an author theory. I think that's one of the long-running theories on the show, thanks to Amy P.
Absolutely.
Along with Johanna did it.
Johanna did it.
Johanna's going to be revealed to be
Where
Hades.
is Johanna?
That's what I was about to say, Anne-Marie.
She had unfinished business.
She had unfinished business. Her show has wrapped. Mrs. Padmore, I command you to appear.
She had unfinished business. She had the rest of her evil plan to enact.
Well,
for
if she's
goodness
really
sake.
evil, she would be Hades' secretary or something, or
Maybe
assistant.
she is Hades. Maybe Johanna is Hades in disguise.
She's Pain and Panic.
That's
You've seen the Hercules, the Disney movie from
Yes.
Hercules. She's Pain and Panic.
Nice.
Ooh, I like it.
All sorts of new Johanna did it theories tonight.
Johanna did it.
Okay, over in the chat room, I wanted to point out too, Amanda said in reference to Rumple, I think it's because the show is still trying to justify his decision to the audience. I wish they would just stop talking about him being evil and the Dark One and just show us through his actions and bring back fun, evil Rumple from season 1 and
Yes,
the flashbacks.
please.
I think that's where they're going, but they ain't there yet.
They
They ain't there yet. Anything else from the chat room, Anne-Marie?
A lot of discussion about can we not just leave the evil people evil? Enough with the redemptions. I want some permanently evil characters. Cruella, Zelina, Rumpelstiltskin, Hades. Yes. Yes.
I want Cruella, Cora, and Peter Pan to team up. That would be... I mean,
Yes.
we were talking about the Mistresses of Darknesses the last season.
Yep.
That would be like the ultimate team darkness right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
They all teamed up to get out of the underworld because Cora wants to get out because of Regina or Zelina, or both of them. Cruella wants to get out because
She's Cruella.
she wants she wants Henry to write her out. Peter wants to get out because of Rumple. So I mean, I could see all three of them teaming up somehow and trying to find a way out, or they're already out.
Ooh.
Or something.
Well, we haven't seen Pan.
True.
Yeah.
So there's that. Other than his one voiceover.
Pan has been in the Heroes Reborn universe.
That is so over at this point, though.
Yeah, he was probably shooting or doing press for it or something.
Yeah, it was probably doing press.
But okay, I'll go ahead and get to my last point here. I like that theory though, for sure. Okay, if Hades can destroy damned people at will like he does with Auntie M in this week's episode, why hasn't he done it to our heroes? It leads me to believe that he needs something from them. Because if he could dismiss anybody that easily, why hasn't he done it to the people who were
Driving him crazy.
Such a
throw the water at them.
Pain in his blue hair.
I think it was maybe a last ditch effort. Like at first he thought, okay, I'll get these people to take care of it. They'll take care of it and then they'll be gone. But now they're, getting more involved. They're, taking care of, they're pretty much beating whatever Hades throws at them. So now he's really angry. So now he's going after them personally.
I could see that. And that's definitely where seems to be going on the surface. I'm just wondering if there's something, because there's a big question mark over Hades at this point. We're really not sure where his allegiances lie, as it should be.
His allegiances lies with Zelina.
Yeah.
And they hurt Zelina, or at least Regina did. So I think he's because he's in love with her or thinks he's in love with her, or, whatever. He's going to do it purely because of her. I think.
Yeah. Zelina.
She's the driving force, I would think, of it, really, of why he would do it. Anyway. That, and now they're just taking him off. Because they keep, he keeps trying to get them to go away, and they won't go away.
I did like where he kind of told everyone in the underworld, hey, don't help these guys.
This will happen to you.
I kind of wonder if they're going to end up rising up and going after the heroes to save themselves or something.
Ooh.
Maybe that was the plan.
Yeah. Turn the whole town against them.
Basically, if they won't leave on their own, I'll force them out, kind of thing.
That's true.
I like that. One other thing I was wondering, though, is can't Hades just create more... If he wants everyone to stay and everything, can he just create more tombstones?
But he doesn't want them to stay.
Well, I mean, he doesn't want them to go, obviously, because he created the 3 initial tombstones.
No, he just wanted to cause conflict.
I guess.
He just wanted to take away their hope.
He was trying to take away Hook's choice, or torture Hook. And one way, the way to torture Hook is loyal. And one way to torture Hook is to test his loyalty. Who is he truly loyal to?
Yeah.
Emma or his friends?
I kind of wonder why he left Hook's hook enchanted, though, because I mean,
he forgot.
Like, he pops up at random times. Yeah, I know everything that's going on here. So obviously he knows that Hook's hook is still enchanted and what went down to get Snow back.
Because he made the choice. He made a choice.
Oh, I guess so, right?
He chose David.
He chose David.
I like that.
David's not leaving. I don't think David's leaving.
No, he's not, because he got his name etched into the tomb.
Right, but there's no way out. Like, that character is done.
There to stay.
Do not say that. He is going out.
Oh, I love this reference. Amanda in the chat room says, perhaps you have to be dead for him to be able to Alex Mack you. Love that show.
Yes.
The Secret World of Alex Mack.
Wow, that's a reference I haven't heard in a
Deep
while.
cut.
Yes.
Deep cut.
I love it.
But, Hook makes the choice with David Nolan.
Yep.
But that leaves 2 choices left.
Exactly.
I have a question real quick.
Yes, please.
Okay.
If David doesn't get out, what if they... what if they think David got out? Like, what if James went in his place?
That could be interesting.
But how is James going to leave because his name's already on a tombstone?
They're fighting next week, so anything could happen.
That's very true. That's very true.
Anything. Literally anything.
Literally anything can happen.
He could kill Charming for all we know, and because, we all know Snow can't tell the difference.
This is very true.
So, they could probably get away with it. He's the 4th member of Team Evil. Or 5th member, whatever you want to tell them.
He's on Team Evil.
Team Evil's going to have like 20 members by the time we're done here tonight.
Pretty much.
It'll be good.
In the chat room, Red Mage says, David has Zootopia money now. Exactly, from Wifey. So.
Nice. But, Hook has 2 choices left. As far as I can see, the 2 choices he's going to make is he's going to trade Regina for Zelina because their names rhyme.
Which works, especially if Zelina and Hades are all
already
together.
chummy, yeah. And then he's going to trade Rumple for Emma because he still has a score to settle with Rumple, which leads me to my sub-prediction.
Wow.
That after Hades is defeated, Rumple takes over the underworld.
I'm okay with that.
I think that would be...
see that.
That would be like pretty much close to a happy ending for him.
Mm-hmm. It really might be.
Mm-hmm.
But that means Belle would have to stay in the underworld.
Very
does
true.
it?
But then again, she could become the Persephone.
The 6 months here, 6 months there.
Yeah. Because she doesn't want to stay in the underworld, or she's mad at Rumple, for the billionth time or whatever, and, she spends 6 months there, 6 months, outside of the underworld.
Well, if it might not matter because she might not mind because she might still be sleeping.
That's true.
As Bella's
She'll
want to do.
have no idea what's happening.
Okay, Anne-Marie, you wanted to wrap up with the point about Hades too, right?
Okay, so we have been talking and talking and talking about defeating Hades. But I still don't know what that's going to look like in the end, or any sort of plan on how to make that happen. For weeks, they have been going, we have to beat Hades. We have to take down Hades. Okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to outsmart him? Are you going to use Alina against him? Are you going to magic him? Other than continuing to help people move on, what else is the plan?
Push him into the River of Souls?
But they have to actually, but they have to get there.
Shave his head with a water pick.
Like, really, at that point, when they found out that it was the soup that had the water, they should have, like, dumped the soup on him. Mm-hmm. What else? But again, what happens to the underworld when Hades is gone? I don't understand.
Yeah, but
I could see them bringing other Greek gods into it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
like bringing in Zeus or something, since they brought up the whole Zeus versus Hades thing.
Yeah, and since Hercules is back there and he knows what's going on in the underworld, I could definitely see that happening. Mm-hmm. But you're definitely right that, the heroes started out, we must defeat Hades! And now they're like, we must defeat Hades, I guess, man.
There's no ticking time clock on it.
No, there is no pressing need to do anything.
Which, as I mentioned last week, I think is kind of the point and kind of the effect of the underworld on people is that they kind of just lose their fight.
Right.
The gumption.
Their gumption.
Their gumption, as it were.
I like it.
I can see that.
Definitely. Okay, so I think we've sussed out this episode. We've wandered the minefield. By the way, patreon.com/universebox.
Put a finger outside.
You know what Patreon is, Anne-Marie? It's something we talk too much about.
It is, so we'll stop talking about it.
So why don't we do the arbitrary scale instead? We're going to rate this episode. Okay, so let's see here. Out of 37 cooing munchkins, how many cooing munchkins do you give this episode, Amy P? We'll start with you.
You said 37?
37 cooing munchkins.
Wow.
I give it a 30.
30 what?
Do it.
Munchkins.
Nope, do it.
I'm not saying it.
Do it.
I'm not saying it.
Cooing munchkins.
30 cooing I can't say it now. Anyway.
30 cooing mushrooms.
Yes, that's it. Episode title right there.
Cooing mushrooms.
I liked it, but I think at the same time I didn't like it because I think, like everybody else, I guess, I was anticipating it to be a bad episode purely because of Ruby. Because, last week, when she came back, I guess they expected everyone to go, oh, yay, Ruby's back. But everyone kind of went, oh, crap, Ruby's back. Which meant Canadian bootleg. So I think someone mentioned it in the chat room. This was pretty much the sequel to the Canadian bootleg.
Yes.
Although I will say it was it was not a Canadian bootleg level episode.
No.
There were good parts of it.
There were good parts
that's why I gave it as high as I did, because I think it was good. It just, like Anne-Marie says, it needs some or a lot improvement to it. So, yeah.
Okay, over in the chat room, we have Unseen Viewer giving it a 18 cooing munchkins and a silly hat. Bobby gives it 12 cooing munchkins. Hoops 900 gives it 25 cooing munchkins and a ruby slipper.
Wow.
Fair enough. And Amanda gives it 17 cooing munchkins, and I definitely thought you said gooey, which is a different connotation.
Yes.
We'll leave that alone.
Let it go.
Angel T gives it 27. Yeah, step away from the reference. Okay. But Angel T gives it 27 cooing munchkins. It was all right, but there were just a few things that soured it for me. And Anne-Marie.
I was about to say, would you like to know how many cooing munchkins I give it?
Thank you for doing it, so I didn't have to. Yeah, definitely.
23 and a funny beard.
Why?
Because it just, like, I'm struggling here, guys. I want to like the show. I want to love the show. I want to turn on Netflix and binge watch this show. Mm-hmm. It's not happening. Harder. It's getting harder. And I want to like it. But I'm terrified for next season. Mm-hmm. Terrified. Yeah, and this isn't helping me.
Yeah, this half season especially feels a lot like a step forward, 2 steps back kind of thing. Like they do something I like and then they undo it to the nth degree in the next episode.
They just seem to backtrack a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Over in the chat room, Red Mage gives it 30 cooing munchkins due to having Dorothy as a guy from Kansas and a built-in ship name, I think is what
Yeah. Okay, there's also that. We didn't even mention this at all. They literally named the episode the ship name.
Yeah, which I thought was a little...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little too on the nose,
It's a little too, we're going to tell you what to like. Mm-hmm. We're going to name that ship for you.
Kind of how a few episodes back, how they called her, not Warrior Snow. Yeah, and it was just
Bandit Snow.
Bandit Snow, and that's sort of a fandom name to reference that period in the character's life. So it was a little weird.
Yep.
a little weird. Okay, and as for me,
Amanda, facepalm. I just remembered there's another season.
as for me, I think I'm going to give it 21 Coo and Munchkins because I liked it in some ways. In other ways, I didn't. I really didn't like what they did with Rumbell, and I thought that the whole True Love's Kiss plot line was way over the top, way too easy, and I think the fact that it's the first LGBT relationship on the show deserved a lot more respect than
Yes,
that.
it didn't get respect.
Yeah, it deserved a good episode to go with it.
Right.
I think it didn't help that we all knew it was coming at the same
Yeah.
time. I think it would have been better if it was like, way back in season 2 or 3 or whenever we figured out about Mulan,
Yes.
that if it happened like that, that would have, would have made a whole big difference, I think.
Oh yeah, instead it just came off as sort of cynical, okay, shut up fans about Swan Queen.
Yes.
And,
Here you go.
And plus we'll get some press out of this.
Here's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's something. We'll get some
Okay.
new write-ups.
Monica
We
gives
all
it...
knew it was coming. That was the thing.
They shouldn't have had Ruby Land last week. They should have just literally completely waited and danced around it until this episode aired. I think. I don't know. I didn't like. We knew those characters were in the episode, so we knew what the episode was going to be.
Yeah.
Over in the chat room, Monica gives it 35 Coo and Munchkins. Definitely. But yeah, good discussion. Even if it wasn't a great episode, it was a great discussion with a great guest, Amy P.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're so glad to have you back.
I know. It's been way too long.
Been way
I
too long.
know.
We were actually talking in the pre-show about maybe how we do the hangouts at the end of the season or the half season. Maybe do one of them with just all of the guests we've had on this half season.
That really would be fun.
That would
I
be.
really do think that's a good idea.
Well, of
And not
course
just
you
because I
do.
wanna be-
It was your
not just because I
idea.
wanna be on the and not just because I want to be on the season or the show again.
Sure, Amy P. Sure. Okay, well, we're gonna hang up. Okay, we're gonna hang up on you in a second, but why don't you tell people where they can find you online?
I'm mostly on Twitter, I guess, at Amy1102. Yeah, that's pretty much where you find me.
And can you tell us who was calling you during the episode?
I have
Sales
no
calls.
You
Sales
have no
calls.
idea.
Sales call, probably. I have no idea. That's why I threw it out of the room, but it was apparently not working. So
Perfect. Okay,
I was
well,
told the phone was unplugged. I was
It's
lied.
okay. It's okay.
I was told the phone would be unplugged. Well, you know what, Amy? We're gonna
gonna
unplug
unplug
you. Bye.
Yeah, dude, that was
Yep.
Thank you very much, Amy P.
Thank
though.
you so much.
Lots and lots and lots of fun. I
Yay.
love
I'm
Amy
sure she'll
P.
be over in the chat room now.
Yeah, she'll probably be in the chat room for a few more minutes. I always love having her on and her crazy
know.
theories and
Such good theories.
definitely. Now,
Yay.
on to the news. News. First up, the ratings. ABC's Once Upon a Time got a 1.2, which was adjusted up a tenth of a point.
Which made it even for last week.
Remember 2 years ago when it was getting a 3.4?
But so is everything else. Nothing's
Yeah,
getting
that's
that
true.
anymore.
That's true. And we talk about this every week.
Yep.
So we're not going to talk about it now, and we're just going to go over and check out the Sisters trailer
Yes.
for next week. As soon as I can get it loaded up here, Hades
I
is
see a
on his
proposal.
knees. Not just
Is it a promposal?
a promposal.
Have you not heard of those?
I have not heard of a promposal.
Oh, it's where boys will like propose.
is there
going to
be a prom on Once Upon a Time?
Ah!
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Cora's back.
Guess who's back?
Then we get the
brothers face off in the
brothers
episode called
fight.
Sisters. So there's that. Boom, boom.
and then James is holding a gun on Robin Hood. Looks like. I wonder what could happen to Robin Hood. He's making the Robin Hood face though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The scared Robin Hood face.
Scared Robin Hood face. Do it. Do it.
No,
Do
don't do
it.
it. Don't do it.
Do it. He's not watching.
Yeah, but we'll be talking about that episode next week.
all
I
right,
am
fine.
sure. I am absolutely sure. It could be interesting, could be horrible, could be somewhere in between. We're gonna find out next week. I hope you join us.
Gosh,
But you know what?
We got some feedback.
Well, we used to encourage you, and I feel so guilty about this.
Oh no.
We used to encourage you to put yourself in danger in order to get to your computer or your phone quick enough to
did.
leave us feedback, because we recorded the night after once was over.
I know. We may have even told you to slap babies. Don't do that.
Yeah, never
not
hit
hurt
kids.
children.
Except maybe do once or twice.
No!
But only if they're in hell, because they won't feel it too much.
Whoa.
But, so I feel really horrible and really torn up about that, which is why we moved the show to Wednesday nights, 8:30 p.m. EST at live.universebox.com, so you have plenty of time to get that feedback in.
Yes.
So, you don't have to rush. You can chill out. You can, take a walk, come back, sit down at your computer, go to patreon.com/universebox, and remember to think outside. And then after you're done with that, you can email us, greetingsfromstorybrooke@gmail.com, tweet us at GFStorybrooke. The Facebook is facebook.com/greetingsfromstorybrooke, and the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. And as always, we're going to start off with Bobby. Take it away, Bobby!
Hey guys, it's Bobby. So I guess I'll start with the positive. I think I mentioned it in chat last week. I kind of like where it feels like they're going with Zelina. Like maybe she'll be the savior, quote unquote, of this arc. Realizing that she can be loved and then accepting Hades' love. Now, I don't know the semantics of how all that will break down and what that will do to reverse everything, but that's just my crazy theory for the time being. Other than that, what in Hades' name was going on in this episode? So much wasted potential. There were so many things that, like I said, wasted potential. Mulan and Ruby are back, characters that people loved, and that they just felt like forced and shorted in this. Or oh my god! All right, and then I thought that Oz looked great, but it was wasted. Oz and Kansas and the Munchkins, all of that looked great for the brief time that we saw it. But what does all of that mean? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Everything in this episode felt forced, felt out of place, felt like it didn't belong. It felt like this weird story that was going on that we were just led in on. And it made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Whenever they try to say some time ago or whatever and jigger stuff into the timeline of this series, and you try to piece it all together, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I do not understand.
Bobby, I feel like you didn't like the episode, man.
Bobby's so emotional tonight.
You don't have a chart in your writer's room with some sort of timeline so you can figure it out, because this makes absolutely no sense. And they wasted so much. Oh my god. I was so looking forward to this episode because the past 2 weeks I felt have been the strongest of the season at the very least. Mm-hmm. And they did so much of redeeming, not redeeming in the sense of the show, but redeeming in my eyes the characters of Rumple and Belle, only to take 5 giant leaps backwards in this episode, back to stupid Belle. I do not understand what they were thinking with this episode. A storyline that certain members of the community wanted for so long, and they just not only did they waste it, but it felt like a total slap in the face, at least to me. And I don't even, I'm not even part of that community. Oh my god. And what was that with Auntie M and the breath thing? And then they introduced the stupid phone booth stuff a few episodes just to have this happen. Did Goodwin need time off to go do Zootopia press? Oh my god. I am so upset about this episode. I was so looking forward to more, and okay, out of 43 wasted characters, I'm gonna give it 14.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Bobby.
Out of 43 we get 14.
Wow. My hair is singed after hearing that.
I enjoy Monica's Bobby's channeling Anne Marie talking about timelines. I've given up.
I will say Amanda over in the chat room says interesting they cared so much about Neil being safe and had to go home, but Robin and the baby are going to stay in the underworld and not catch a ride back as well. And this reminds me of something I noticed during the episode. Zelina's basically leave my baby in hell where it's safe.
Yep, safe for
I'll
me.
go.
I'm
leave
leaving.
my baby
Leave
here
the
in
baby.
hell with Robin, the only non-powered character in hell for some reason. It's good. It's good.
It's lovely.
No, but thank you very much, Bobby, for sure. Okay, next up is As Victoria, I believe, if I heard it correctly.
Hi, I'm at Victoria on Twitter, and I just saw your tweet. I really loved the gay aspect, the lesbians. It was, because it's a very female empowering show to begin with, and I do appreciate that. I've read all of the fairy tales. I've got Grimm's right on my bookshelf right now, and they're so often so, well, grim and punitive, and they're just seem designed to frighten children into behaving well and being good little citizens. And this has just opened up a whole new way of redeeming fairy tales and making it all about all kinds of love. And I just thought it was great. It was kind of telegraphed, you know, when they gave each other nicknames and she gave, Red gave Dorothy the look earlier in the show, and I was really happy that you telegraphed it and followed through. So thanks a lot, and here's one very happy viewer, and I will continue to watch. Bye.
Excellent.
Yay!
I mean, yeah, it's great that people liked it too. Like I said, I like that it happened. I just think it could have happened a better way.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's just a once problem that has been happening lately is that they just haven't been putting enough effort into a lot of storylines, and this is just another example of it. It was a great thing that happened, and made a lot of people happy.
Well, I guess this is sort of going to fall the same way this whole half season has. There's that slight arc of, hey, we're in the underworld and we have to get out, but every episode is completely different. Mm-hmm. There's little bits that carry over, but we introduce a character, we have a story, we get rid of the character. We introduce a character, we have a story, we get rid of the character. That's what's going to happen to these two. We are not going to see them again. We're not going to see them happily living in Oz or Kansas or Storybrooke. They're done. Like, that's the way...
No.
What about my water bottle?
Monica, take it away.
Hi guys, it's Monica. Just a couple of thoughts on this week's episode. Loved it. Loved seeing Red again, and her story arc in this episode. I am wondering if Snow White's going to stay in Underbrook as her way of bowing out now that Jennifer Goodwin is pregnant again. Also, something that kept bugging me through the episode turned out unnecessarily. We saw pretty early on that Red had feelings for Dorothy. So with Sleeping Curse, does True Love's kiss have to be reciprocated? You know, it doesn't have to be romantic thanks to Regina and Henry, but it didn't work for Rumpel and Belle. But then can Rumpel really feel true love anyway? Didn't work for Robin and Marion, but then Robin was already in love with Regina. And then it didn't work for Hook and Emma in New York. So is that our indication that it does have to be reciprocated, or was there something else at work there? And also, I'm loving how efficient Hades is at his job. He's a god. He's supposed to be good at this stuff, and he is fantastic. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say tonight. See you then. Bye.
Thank you very much, Monica. And I see you in the chat room there, too. Hello. Hello. Okay, we have two quick ones here from Dawn O'War, our guest last week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, first up, this one, which I called Dawn O'War Zero.
Oh.
Hi, Bill and Anne-Marie. It's Dawn O'War. How are you?
Okay.
I just had a random thought while driving down the highway, and I thought I would leave it for you because I don't know
hope you pulled over.
Do we do crackpot theories on this?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Sure we do. Right. I think maybe that they haven't named Zelina's baby because one of our female leads is going to die, and then they're going to name the baby that, like they did Neil. That's my theory, right? And I'm sticking to it. That's like a thing we did on the Lost podcast. Right. Bye. Hi, Bill and Anne-Marie. It's Dawn O'War. How are you? I just finished watching Once, and I just want to say I love gay people. I love gay people, but I'm not really sure that was a really great love story. So, like, that's my issue there. Like, they had a walk in the woods. I think, like, Belle and What's His Bucket last week had a better love story.
Yes.
And that wasn't even that much of a love story. But whatever. Okay, I'll go with it. But I really wanted them to have Toto give her true love's kiss. Why didn't anybody think to try that?
Yes, that would have made sense, too.
I'm sure Toto could have given her true love's kiss. And in fact, I called it from the beginning, and I was waiting because I thought it would be such a great moment. But we didn't get that. So I'm a little sad. Mulan loses again. Nobody loves Mulan. But
Poor Mulan.
Toto just sat there and did nothing, and he could have woke her up the whole time. You know it's true, because the love of a good dog that surpasses any lesbian you just met in the woods and had any bi-curious woman that you met in the woods and had one walk with and watched her transform into a wolf. That's my feeling on that topic. Anyway, bye.
Thank you so much for swerving 3 different ways to kind of soften your statement there, Dawn. I appreciate it.
Yes.
I mean, me personally, I don't care. But, some of our viewers have sensitive ears, for
Yes.
sure. So we definitely appreciate your efforts in that arena.
Yes.
Okay, next up we have a letter from Kristen. Kristen says, "Dear greetings from Storybrooke.
Okie dokie.
Hi, it's me again.
Hi.
I just want to say thanks for reading my letter on the podcast last week.
Not a problem.
I never thought it would have been read on the air.
Oh, that's what we do.
It's happening again. I give this episode 7 out of 10 Totos because there wasn't much to the plot other than David now has his name on the stone instead of snow, and she gets back to Storybrooke via the slippers. And also, Belle puts herself in a sleeping curse. But I really enjoyed the Ruby and Dorothy relationship. I did think it was going to be Ruby and Mulan, so that disappointed me a little bit because I want Mulan to find love, but it was still cute to see. Next week's episode looks really good. I'm excited to see James again, but not excited to see if he's going to take David's place forever.
And,
what do you guys think of James and David? I know you've talked about it before, Kristen. Well, then you know what we think about it. Move on. No, I think this is why I thought it was what's coming up next episode is why I thought it was interesting James was coming back to the show.
Yes.
Their first meeting.
Finally.
They've
never met
yet.
They've never met. Okay. Our next letter. I'm just going to stretch. This one's long.
Are there parts to this? Should I play a part?
No, they're not really parts. They look like parts, but
Well, how about
Okay,
because it looks like it goes back and forth between Hope and her friend Billy.
yeah.
So
I'll read the intro. I'll be Hope. You can be Billy. 'cause
Okay.
You're Billy.
No, I'm not. I'm Bill.
Ha. Okay, this is from Hope. Adam Horowitz said that the LGBT storyline couldn't be rushed. It had to be earned. Did he do it? I wanted to run through a few quick thoughts I had about the episode. Lucky for me, my best friend Billy was hanging out and watched the episode. She dislikes Once Upon a Time. She tried watching it about halfway through season 1, but it just wasn't her thing, which is fine. She's seen many episodes through me, including Ruby Slippers. I'm going to add her thoughts too. I like Zadie's, but I'm still not sure if he's playing her. I hope at the end Zelina is tricking Hades.
She constantly thought that David and Killian. I constantly thought that David and Killian were going to kiss. I knew it was going into it. I knew going into it there might be an LGBT reveal and thought it was them.
I loved sarcasm, how they ripped off their own spinoff. Dorothy was going to be institutionalized. Alice was put into a mental hospital until Will busted her out in Wonderland. I feel so bad for the Frankenwolfers. They've been loyal to Ruby and Victor for years. Another diner in Storybrooke was the most shocking part of the episode.
Very few people know this, but Mulan in Chinese means lonely lesbian third wheel.
That's fantastic. This is just a quote.
Yeah, just move on to the next top line.
Okay, Sean McGuire should be here anyway. Oh my god, he's main cast. It hasn't been in the last 2 episodes. This is so bad that I almost would rather watch the Frozen arc, which I hated. At least there's a chance for Sokka to show up and that she's going to correct us because I'm sure I did it wrong.
I have played an improv role-playing game as a teenager that is more developed than this. I've read fan fiction better than this. Fans were waiting for an LGBT couple. They should be angry. I paid $8.25 I get paid $8.25 an hour as an artist, and there are professional writers getting paid for this.
I'm happy Once did an LGBT couple, but it wasn't earned like Adam said it would be. It was rushed, messy, and terribly written. Dorothy and Ruby knew each other for less than 24 hours. Mulan is once again the TV trope of the lonely lesbian. It was terribly handled. Okay, then there's some links to
Entertainment Weekly and stuff that we're not going to get into here. We'll put them in the show notes.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see. Once Upon a Time was outdone in the LGBT storyline by a children's television show. I'm guessing that's one that's linked here. Let's see. The promo for next week is the best part of the episode. I'm so excited for David. I'm sorry. I'm so excited for David versus James. I've wanted it since season 1. I gave Ruby Slippers 4 out of 10 sad Mulans.
Sad Mulan.
Sad Mulans.
That lonely lesbian third wheel, as they say in the chat room. Let's see here. Okay, next up is Jessica. Jessica says, "Hey, Bill and Anne-Marie.
Hi.
I want to start this off by saying I called it. I called it," it said to say it in a singing voice. It was so great to see Ruby back. Can't we keep Megan Orrery as a series regular?
We tried that once.
It was nice for her to reference the Wizard of Oz movie and book. I like it when they combine the once world with our world, which, by the way, the second time we've got a reference to someone watching the movie of a character. Both times Mulan was in the scene because it was Neil telling Mulan about her own movie.
Yes.
Let's see. But why was Mulan so quick to trust Dorothy? If someone holds a crossbow at you, it's not safe saying that you're a werewolf. Just saying.
Right. What was that?
I don't know.
Sorry. Continue.
Oh, it's okay. Again, the best moment this episode was the Regina and Zelina scenes. Even at the beginning, Zelina is worried about losing the goodwill she has with Regina, thinking that she is on her path of going good and having a relationship with Regina, which is what I wanted for season 5A, especially after she gave Regina the slippers after she just asked for them. The second best thing was the Charming Hook bromance. I shipped them. Charming Hook. Yeah, it's all one word, so that's the ship name, Charming Hook. We really need more scenes between them.
That's true.
Does Granny have competition in the overworld since the witch does? Good question.
That's very good
I was
question.
wondering that myself. And she answered our questions by telling Ruby that the diner isn't hers yet. So at least we know now. Am I the only one that thinks that it's creepy that Hades smelled Auntie Em while she was water before you dumped her in the river? That was pretty gross. Belle is getting annoying. I mean, you can't darken your soul if you do something by accident. And for her to go into a sleeping curse and then tell Rumple that her father is the one who can break it, it's nuts. How did Dorothy know how the hood works? Did they talk about it before? And
Yes.
I'm missing something? And finally, an LGBT couple in the show. And finally, an LGBT couple in the show. Even Mulan ships them. For me, the end was so much snowing from season 1. So it was too much snowing from season 1, so I didn't like it. And the last thing I want to say is that it's about time the heroes find a loophole, not only Rumple. It's just a shame that Snow didn't say, "I'll always find you." Although Ruby had a line kind of like that to Dorothy in the end, I believe. Out of 533 people turning into water, I give this episode 500, just because, again, this episode was mostly a filler. After seeing next week's episode, I think that Hades will give Zelina some kind of promise ring. But she will be torn between Regina, good, and Hades, bad. We get to see more Robin. Yay, he hasn't been seen in the last 2 or 3 episodes. That's why I think he will die at the end of the season. We'll finally get to see James and David, with James taking David's place in the episode and put the magic cuff on Emma so she can't use her magic on him.
Ooh, the cuff.
So this is all to say, I can't wait to hear what you two have to say. Jessica, P.S. Where did Regina get the purse? At least she knows, at least show us the magic wardrobe if you're going to use it.
Oh, please give me the magic wardrobe.
Lovely. And last but not least,
All right,
Ash. You ready, Anne-Marie?
Hold on, let me get a drink of water. I got an ice cube, so I didn't mean to.
Hey, Annabelle, how are things going? Good, I hope. I'm so excited Ruby's back.
Ruby's back. Yes, Mulan team up. Happy dance. Aw, Toto too. It's a twister. Regina's travel twister, perhaps. Oh, you better leave Red alone. Pilot Lighthead? I don't have any idea what that means. Grr. Oh, Belle. Sad face. Poor Belle. Sigh. I've missed Snow and Red. Darn you, Zelina. I do wonder where true friendship rates on the true love's kiss scale. Wolfie, hee hee. Ack my heart at the charming's pain. Not good. Zelina plotting with Belle. Not sure how I feel about that, other than they might come up with something that may work. Side note, I'm pretty sure Ash does this while she's watching.
Yes, because it's always sent in about 5 minutes after the show ends.
How are they going to get back with Ruby link arms and saying LOL? Oh my gosh, can't believe Charming and Hook are saying all that finally. Remembers the Wolfie form of text every cartoon's Wolfie back rides, awesome. Oh no, Auntie M melted. Sniffles is reminded how Regina could be back during the curse to keep the status quo. Oh, charming. Snow. Sniffles. Hashtag you better find her charming. And Henry's got the quill somewhat working more, giving this one 7.5 sleep aids out of 10. Hugs and cheers, Ash.
Thank you very much, Ash.
Thank you, Ash.
We always love your letters.
Yes.
For sure.
They're
Definitely.
It's like a workout.
And speaking of letters,
Speaking of letters,
next week after you watch the episode, remember, you don't have to rush like I
do
said.
not have to rush.
You can take your time. Grab a lemonade. Try out both diners in Underbrook.
Do not get the soup.
Definitely do not get
Do
the
not
soup.
get the soup.
And then, well, I'm just going to say from now on, we are only accepting feedback from our patrons at
Stop that.
patreon.com/universebox.
No, he's kidding.
But if you want to throw away your feedback, email us greetingsfromstorybrooke@gmail.com, tweet us at gfstorybrooke. Facebook is facebook.com/greetingsfromstorybrooke. And the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. We want to thank all of our chatters who have been great tonight.
They've
and
been excellent, yes.
Thank you for bearing with us while we kind of vent
crazy.
frustrations. Yeah. Let's see. We have Alita, Amanda, Amy P, Angel, Bobby, Hoops900, Matthew, Paul, Monica, Unseen Viewer, and Chanserve, the most important chatter of all. Anne-Marie, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at @AMDeSimone, or you can check out my newly resurrected, man, I can't say that, resurrected blog, crunchycrafty.com.
And as for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Bill Meeks. You can follow all of the podcasts we do at universebox.com. And you can follow me down the street, and I won't see you because I really don't pay attention to things that are behind me.
What?
Until next time, greetings from Underbrook.
Underbrook. I don't know where I am. Save me.
That is the episode.
That is the episode.
There is
Okay.
no more episode.
Episode titles.
Episode titles. Yes, I have those here. Let me get them in the chat room. Episode titles. Should have been less busy dancing, more busy putting episode titles in. We have Oz is an Open Door, Regina's Redemption School, Red Riding, Sans Hood, True Lust Kiss, Friends of Dorothy, and Lonely Lesbian Third Wheel. So those are our choices. Please vote in the chat room. And hopefully we will have a decision here shortly, because we went extra long tonight.
Yeah, we did.
It was good, though.
It was good. It was good.
It's always good. It's always good when we have a good guest on. We end up going a little longer. Even if we didn't like the episode, we enjoyed the conversation.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Good talks. Good talks.
Yeah, and Hoops900, sorry, came in
like we were
little too
just
late.
started, and we're like, can't add more. There was already so much feedback.
I will say you were one of the people we reached out to about being a guest. So
And you never got back to
maybe send
us.
us feedback on that, huh? No, I'm kidding, man. You know we love you. Okay, we have one for Oz is an Open Door.
Oz is an Open Door.
We have one for Lonely Lesbian Third Wheel.
See, and I kind of really like the Friends of Dorothy one now.
Mm-hmm.
For shame.
For shame.
For shame.
Okay, so we have 2 votes. One for Oz, one for Lesbian, one for True Lust Kiss. So we have a 3-way tie right now.
Boom, 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 boom.
I have 3 fingers up.
Boop.
Bobby says, do you know how late I send in my feedback sometimes? Yeah, we do, Bobby.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
By
we
the way,
do.
Bobby, if you can figure out how to export a WAV file
That would
or
be
an
awesome.
MP3 file, it would shave like a couple seconds off. Okay, now we have one for Friends of Dorothy. We have 2 for Friends of Dorothy.
Yay, Friends of Dorothy.
Look at my fingers right now. They're amazing. See, I really liked Oz is an Open Door, though.
I know. So why do you have them vote if you're just going to pick the one you like anyway?
Because I like America. I want it to appear like we have a democracy.
But we don't.
No, we have 3 for Friends of Dorothy, 2 for True Lust Kiss, It could go any way at this point. Not the way I want it to go, but it could go several other ways.
I don't know how you're even tracking.
Okay,
that
we
of it.
have 4 friends of Dorothy.
Yay!
I think that's official. That's official. And then we have another one for Oz is the Open Door, and she says her vote should count twice.
Because it's Amy B.
Yeah, I still think Friends of Dorothy wins pretty handily, though.
Yep, I'm sure you can fit Oz is an Open Door in there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere, somehow, some way.
Somewhere, somehow.
Oz is an open door. No, but we want to thank you guys again so much for coming out.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are the greatest.
Yes, good.
Oh, see, now we have another one for Oz is an Open Door. That ties it.
So
That ties it. Okay, the next vote. Okay, lightning round. Oz is an Open Door, Friends of Dorothy. Everybody vote right now. In a second, because it'll take a second to get to you. And this will break the tie. Okay, Anne-Marie votes Friends of Dorothy. I vote Oz is an Open Door. Matthew.
So are you voting for a Matthew or not?
Friends of Dorothy go through Oz the Open Door. Amanda, that doesn't help at all.
Yes, it does. It's fantastic.
Okay.
Okay.
Another Friends.
Let me tell you about my best friend.
Friends of Dorothy, Friends, Oz. Friends of Dorothy, Oz. Still even, I think. I'm losing count. You know what? We're going to decide this off air in a coin flip where I'm going to go to random.org and have it generate a random number between 1 and 2 because it's just too close. Okay, 1 will be Friends of Dorothy. 2 will be Oz is an Open Door.
And all of you will find out when it's published.
When it's published here in just a little bit. Actually, if you refresh the YouTube video
soon,
in just a minute or two, you should be able to see it. But thanks, guys. Love you.
Bye. Thank you.
Good night.